So many ecom founders I speak with, they try Pinterest once and then they just tell me like, yeah, it just didn't work for my brand. I tested it, but I had low ROAS. I got clicks, but then I just didn't get any sales. So I just turned them off. It's just not for my product. So in this video, we're going to break down why Pinterest sometimes looks like it's failing, but it's actually not, and how brands are very often measuring it wrong and what it's actually doing when you're setting up your campaigns in the right way. Because after running Pinterest ads for like over 100 ecom brands, I see the same pattern over and over again. And that is that Pinterest didn't fail. It's just, it got measured all wrong and then turned off way too early before it could even do any of its things that Pinterest shines in. Because what I see is that a ton of founders get wrong is that they measure Pinterest exactly the same way that they would with Meta, and that really creates the wrong expectations because Pinterest captures search intent. People on Pinterest are like sometimes they're discovery buyers because they're looking for a new project or just want to do a new a shopping session, but they're also really planners and visual shoppers. You want to use that for your advantage because that's where Pinterest is shining and can really help your brand scale. If you're setting up your Pinterest campaigns to kind of like be a foundation on which you can scale, you will start to see an overall higher ROAS. You'll start to see an overall lower CAC. You'll start to see that the people are coming to your store and they have a higher average order value or a higher lifetime value because you're bringing more intentional people to your brand, to your store. That makes people really acquainted to your brand and makes people feel very like at ease with purchasing from you and willing to do multiple purchases and increase that lifetime value in that way. What I very often see is that they're just judging whether the campaign is working on last click and using very short attribution windows. And now you can see like, okay, if I'm focusing on the wrong numbers, it can really seem like Pinterest isn't working. But at the same time, it's actually feeding into my meta. It's actually feeding on its own and it's actually compounding. Look at the bigger picture and see, okay, is Pinterest actually doing its job and bringing those high intent people? So make sure you're treating the Pinterest data for what it is and understand what its role is in your overall data and like the big view data. Another thing that I have been seeing is that there is a creative mismatch where people are basically just using the winners they have from Facebook or Instagram and then just copy pasting them into Pinterest, and that's just not gonna work. You're going to kill a ton of budget and not see results because the Pinterest feed is, first of all, very different. Pins are smaller than Reels are or Instagram posts are, and at the same time there's multiple things at the same time, and the video isn't always playing immediately. There's no sound on the video unless you click on it, and if it's an ad you cannot watch the video with the sound on by clicking on it because it will directly send you to the website. So you want to make sure that if you have an unboxing video or something giving a review, somebody giving a review, or you have an influencer that has an audience, that's just not going to work the same on Pinterest because people come to Pinterest, they're using that search bar and doing a search to solve a problem or something, find something they want to purchase, or are looking for something they think is fun, like a project. That's the moment you're capturing them. So if you're going to create those visuals, you cannot copy paste the visuals that you're using to interrupt in a feed when people aren't even searching for something. You need to speak to those people in a different way to make sure that your creatives get really profitable. And this is something I see very often where brands are coming to me and they're complaining that their winners from Facebook just were bombing on Pinterest and they were paying a lot of money. They had very high CPMs to get a couple of clicks and no sales at all. So keep this in mind that this could be a reason why your Pinterest ads seem like they're failing, but it's actually the creatives that are a mismatch. So the key idea here is that Pinterest isn't necessarily like that fast feedback platform where you're getting instant results. it is way more like a compounding channel. And that's why I like to add Pinterest ads once somebody is already getting a certain revenue level, when you're already doing like 30K a month or something, and you really know, okay, I already have my meta ads dialed in. And then you have like that foundation to start implementing your Pinterest ads and really using it as like fertile soil. You're going to be able to measure your data and see, okay, in my overall thing, if I'm like, you don't want to look at just Pinterest ads data, but on the overall thing, like what are you spending? What is your average order value? And you're going to see that those things are all going to be improving if you're setting up your Pinterest ads in the right way. So now that you know this, like the next question obviously is, okay, how am I going to set up these campaigns? And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Like, how are Pinterest and Meta supposed to be working together to actually see those results? So I'll see you in the next video.